Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Niki and I'm super happy to be here with Akwaaba Yoga today. This is a short yoga class. Please check with a medical professional first if you're working with any injuries or conditions. And just to know, this class is not suitable for you if you're pregnant. Okay, for this class we only need our yoga mat, no props required, but if you have them, then bring them along. You might use them at some point, but I won't be giving you any specific modifications on how to use the props. Let's get started on our back today. So you're coming down onto your back. Bring the feet together, knees apart, and either rest the arms alongside of the body or rest one hand on the lower abdomen, one hand over the heart. Just any last wriggles as you goes, letting the chin come down towards the chest, the shoulders away from the ears, allowing the hips and the pelvis to let go. And as you close the eyes, start to sense the fluidity of the breath. Sensing the inhale as it enters the body, makes its way down towards the lungs. And then the exhale as it moves from the lungs up through the back of the throat, out through the nose or through the lips. Gradually deepening and extending your inhales and your exhales. And with every breath, finding more awareness, more presence in the physical body. A little bit more energy as well. On your next inhale, take a gigantic breath, feel for the whole body expanding in space. Exhaling out with a sigh. Let the lips touch. Start to engage your dry breath. If you're new to this one, all it means is that you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, with a little restriction at the back of the throat. So your breath becomes audible. And this audible rhythm is giving keys for you as you move through the poses. Keys are on when to hold longer, when to take a step back, when to up level, when it's time to transition. The breath is your main guide. And then everybody bring your hands to your outer knees, gather the knees together. Bring the knees in towards the chest and find circles, moving the knees away from the midline and back down towards the center. Hopefully you don't get the radiator in your way as you're circling the knees. So you are in charge. How big circles do you want to take? Whether these are just smaller ones, just to ease the lower back into the practice. Maybe they're quite big circles, so you feel that your hips and your pelvis is starting to become a little bit more fluid, a little bit more open. Balance it out, take the knees away from you this time and then down towards the sides, back towards the heart. Finding a little bit of a different movement on the same planes. And easing back to center. If you know me, you know I love a bit of core. It's not going to be too much, just a little bit of bicycling. So bring your knees over the hips into like the hands at the back of the neck and the head. And then float the head and shoulders up and away from the ground. From here, both elbows to the left knee, right leg extends out. You all know this. We switch between the sides for 20, 19. Keep the shoulders and the head up for 18. 17, these are not too bad to start out with, but as you progress, 16, 15, 14, 13, keep it going, 10, 9, 8, 7, yes, I can feel it now, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Bring the head and shoulders down. Take a big rock all the way up to sit. If this doesn't work, just roll to the side and sit yourself up. From here, plant the hands down. Coming to tabletop. So ideally when we come into tabletop, what we're looking for is knees, hips in one line, knees hip width, wrists, shoulders stacking, arms shoulder width. So there is lots of stability in this pose. Cat-cows. If your lower back tweaky, you can do what I do and tuck your toes under. As you inhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. As you exhale, chin towards the chest, press the ground away. Breath in, pull the ribcage forwards and up, let the shoulder blades come away from the ears. Breath out, round the spine, feel for that hollowing action in the chest. 2 more, inhale, lift forwards and up. Exhale, take the tailbone, rest of the spine follows. Good, last one, inhale, open through the heart. Exhale, round the spine, press the ground away. Hit. And come back to center, tuck your toes if you haven't yet. Press yourself back into your down dog. Coming into an inverted V shape with the body. And then starting to make movement. So for most of us, when we come into down dog, what we do is starting to paddle the feet out on the spot. Bend one knee, reach down through the opposite heel. But this mainly works legs. If you want a little more, you can move the hips. You can look under one armpit and then change the gaze. Look under the other armpit. If you're feeling super strong today, you can push forwards into your plank and then press back into your down dog. Do a couple of these. This is great for the wrists as well, because we're not really used to bearing weight on our wrists, unless if you do any other style of workout where you do. But in yoga, it does take time to build up the strength in the wrists. Okay, feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, open up, three-legged dog. So again, reaching up and over with the knee and the hip and the pelvis, but finding that little lowering through the armpit, so you're squaring the chest. Movements with the right ankle, circling into the knee as well, perhaps. Nice, and then return back to center with the right leg as you inhale. Step the foot to the front of the mat, lower the left knee down, low lunge. So you might see that I have 2 mats, because I want lots of padding for my hands, for my knees. If you have a carpet underneath your mat, perfect. But if you have just a very tiny, thin mat, then maybe flip your mat underneath the back knee or pop a towel underneath the knee. Take the arms over the head as you inhale. And then lift out from the hips, pressing the hips forwards as you exhale. Good, one more breath. Lift the back of the heart a little higher. Nice. Exhale, hands find the ground. Press back into your plank. And then lower the knees down. This is your modified plank. Draw the elbows back, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, lead with the chest. Rise up, low cobra or cobra. Lift up through the midline of the chest and at the same time draw the elbows in. Exhale, downward facing dog, press them back. Full breath in. Full breath out. Switching sides. Inhale, take the left leg up. And then the exhale, bend the knee, three-legged dog. So same squaring action, letting the left side of the rib cage roll down, but keeping the hips, well, the left hip only lifted up. So there is this isolation in the body. Circling into the left ankle. Still remaining conscious with the right hand. Press the ground away. Good. Inhale, stretch the left leg back and up. Exhale, step the foot free, lower them down. Lift the arms over the head. And feel as you lift the arms, not just the arms, not just the arms that are lifting, but also you're lifting up and away from the entire side body, like up and away from your hips. Good. One more inhale. Feel for the length as you reach higher. Exhale. Plant the hands down. Step back into your plank. Same thing. Modified chaturanga. Modified chaturanga is a great, when you point the elbows back and lower and down, you can still apply all that strength you got in your core to lower. Inhale, lifting up, cobra, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, pressing back. Take a full body breath in. Full body breath out. Bend the knees, look forwards as you inhale. Step, walk or hop to the front of your mat as you exhale. Soften the knees. When you soften the knees, it makes a difference in the spine. You feel that there is more of this letting go. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow down. Take a breath, rise to stand. The more space than I have, then stretch the arms out to the sides. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay. And as you stand tall, either close the eyes if you're okay with that. If you feel a little dizzy, just keep a soft gaze. It will work just as well. And as you deepen the breath, connecting to your breath. Connecting to the heart space, which is right underneath your thumb knuckles. Feeling centered in your upright position. Bring the eyes open, have an amazing practice. Take a breath, reach the arms over the head as you inhale. Forward and down on the exhale. Breath in, halfway lift. And the out breath, step back into your plank. You can stay with lowering the knees down and lifting up into your cobra, or move from high to low plank in one line. Inhale into your up dog. Good, exhale into your down dog. Press them back. Feel for this extension through the side body, pressing the outer hips back. In the same time, that length down through the backs of the legs. So the whole body is working in your down dog. It's a bit like a tabletop. So both the hands and the feet are down on the ground, but it requires a little bit more muscular engagement to keep you in this inversion. Take a breath, bend the knees so you can see where you're going. On the exhale, step or it'll float to the front. Good, breathing in, halfway lift. Breath out, forward. Inhale, rise to stand, open the arms. Good, exhale, hands gather at the heart center. Second sun A, inhale, extend. Exhale, forward. Take a breath, telescope the ribs halfway. On the out breath, step back into your plank. For those who want to float into low plank, take it through your Vinyasa. Opening through the back bend and pressing back into your inversion. Okay, bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Lift your right leg up into your three-legged down dog. And then start making tiny pulses with that right leg. Feeling for more length in the back of the leg. At the same time, steadiness through the hands, through the left leg. Stretching into the back of the right leg here. Good. And then switch, lower the right foot down, take the left leg up. Tiny pulses. So we're working with the connective tissue here, refining a little bit of the extra length in the back of the legs. Nice. Lower and down, and the inhale, prepare, bend the knees, and the exhale, step or float to the front. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breath out, forward. Take an inhale, rise to stand, maybe a mini back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Chair pose. If you are lower back tweaky, like me, I like doing chair hip width with my feet. Otherwise, press your ankles together. Coming into chair, bend the knees, lift the arms over the head and the inhale. Forward and down on the exhale. Breath in, halfway lift. On the out breath, step back, jump back, your chaturanga. So knees up or knees down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Good, exhale, down dog. Alrighty, knee to nose, here we go. You can down level by doing this in tabletop. Inhale, take the right leg up. Exhale, hover forwards, knee to nose. Breath in, stretch your right leg back towards the ceiling. Breath out, right knee to right armpit. Tuck it in as high as it goes today. Inhale, take your right leg back towards the ceiling. Good, exhale, right knee to left armpit. Inhale, right leg lifts once more. And then the exhale, start to take your right leg forward for a high lunge. Squeeze the inner legs, come to stand. So we're posed to warrior one. In high lunge, both feet face towards the top of the mat. And for more stability, have your feet about hip width. Bend into the front knee. And then make your back leg alive. So lifting up the back of the thigh. Arms go over the head as you inhale. Shoulders go down in the exhale. Feeling for that centeredness, which is going to come very handy in a second when we're going to take this into twisting high lunge. So starting to extend the left arm forwards, bend into the left knee, twist, and then rotate from the right shoulder, just a little more back. One breath, one movement. As you inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist. Breath in, arms go over the head. Breath out, twist. Inhale, come back to the midline. And then this time on the exhale, plant the left hand down to the ground. Roll onto the outer blade of both feet and then lift your right arm up. Finding a variation, well, what should I call this? Like an easy twisting lunge variation. I guess it would be the right one. And then feel how this helps you open around the outer right leg. It also strengthens your left arm. Bring the right hand down. Step back into a plank as you inhale. Lower and down. Maybe knees come down this time. Come all the way down to the ground. And interlock your hands at your lower back for locust. Now if the interlock doesn't work, don't worry. Stretch the arms back. It's also fine. Okay. Here we go for the lift. On the inhale, rising up. On the exhale, stretch the knuckles back if you got the interlock. Stretch the fingertips back if you don't have the interlock. So feel for lifting from the midline upwards. Finding that space for your breath. And then simultaneously lengthening back through the inner legs. So the whole body is working together. And then slowly lower on down. Hands underneath shoulders. Press back into your down dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out this time through the mouth. Feet together. Lift your left leg up as you inhale. Okay, draw the knee in towards the nose. Shoulders go with the wrists. Exhale. Breath in. Stretch your left leg back towards the ceiling. Breath out. Left knee to left shoulder. Maybe a little tap. Inhale, take your left leg high. Exhale, left knee to right armpit. Inhale, lift your left leg back towards the vertical. Good, exhale, draw it in towards the midline, step to the top, high lunge. So when you squeeze the inner legs as you come up, it's gonna make it easier. And by easier, I mean like more controlled as you come up. Again, don't be shy to readjust. Feet can be wider. Sink into that front leg. Take the arms over the head. Feel for the length in the side body, the activation through the arms and the hands. And then slowly starting to move into the twist. So as you extend the right arm forwards and the left arm back, notice how I bend into my right knee. It's going to help me revolve more through the center. And then one breath, one movement. Inhale, arms to center. Exhale, twist. Right arm forwards, left arm back. Inhale, bring the arms up and over the head. Exhale, twist. Breath into the midline. Breath out to twist. As you take both arms back over the head, this time plant your right hand down. Roll into the outer blade of both feet. Let the left arm rise and up. And then you can be in control whether you want the right hip to dip down, to lift away. I like lifting away because I want to increase my side body strength. But maybe you're already super strong in the side body, so you can just want to focus. So you just want to focus on the lengthening and the stretching. Thanks. And then roll towards the front of your mat. Step back into your plank. This time for a Vinyasa. Lowering down halfway, inhale into up dog. Exhale into your down dog. Good. From your down dog, locate the top of the mat, step or a little float. Sit down, you might get a click in your knee, as I do. And then coming down onto your back. Okay. And as you find your position in the back, you're setting up for bridge. So for most of us, the alignment of feet hip width and knees and heels on top of each other works really well. For some of us, we have to take a little look, or you can use your mid fingers to brush your heels. Arms to the sides to start with. You can inhale, press them down through the feet. And then the exhale, lift, lower, mid, upper back. Now as I come up into my bridge, I can choose to stay as I am with my arms, or go for an interlock. But if you go for your interlock, like I did, then make use of the hand or the arms, pressing down through the forearms, lifting the heart higher. And then simultaneously extending through the inner legs. Bridge is a wonderful pose. It works so many muscles in the body. It really builds the back strength. It creates strength in the legs, openness across the chest. And hopefully you holding yourself here with that little letting go around the corners of the lips. Just sometimes the hardest part. To ease it out, ease out the hands first. If you got an interlock, let the spine lower and down like a wave, so the upper back touches down, mid back touches down, lower back touches down. And once you reach the ground, bring the feet together, knees apart, so just like as you started your practice. Then I invite you to place one hand in the lower abdomen, one hand over the heart space, and close your eyes. After the flow that re-energizes the body and builds that fiery sensation in all the muscles in the core, and take a moment to create balance. More of that cooling, restorative, rejuvenating, turning inward in yin type of presence. Just sensing the breath. So the practice comes in a full circle. Bring the hands slowly to the outer knees. Gather the knees together. And place your right ankle on top of the left thigh. So you create a figure four shape. Not going into reclined pigeon. Let the knees come down to your right. Arms in cactus arms. So if this doesn't work, this is just an easeful twist. If this doesn't work, stack your knees. Pop a pillow between the inner thighs if you want more relief around the lower back. Otherwise, just enjoy this length that is being created through the left side of the body. Then let the knees travel back to the center. Unhook the right ankle, switch. Left ankle on top of the right thigh. So you need to negotiate with space. Just hips to the right slightly. Maybe letting the eyes close. Allowing every single part of your body to let go. Super important when we're trying to release and stretch is that we're not just focusing on the body part that we're stretching, right now the hips, the upper right leg, but also the overall body. We are being aware of every single cell. So the support is letting go. Let the legs come back towards the midline. Unhook the left ankle this time. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe tiny rocks from left to right, right to left. And then extend it out in your Shavasana. Take as long as you need, but do take a Shavasana. It is very much part of the practice, and it helps to integrate the body and the mind, so you can feel refreshed and rejuvenated. I would say thank you now for you all, but as I said, please stay in your Shavasana as long as you need. Thank you for practicing with me.